Good morning, greetings, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being into addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are your go-to source for all things health and nutrition. You can call us at 844-236-6010 if you have a comment or success story you'd like to share. We love hearing those. Or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or call 866-735-2470. If you want to start a longevity business and help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, if you want to make a little spare change, or if you want to just do it for a living, a lot of people are making some pretty significant money helping spread the word, helping tell people about nutritional supplements. It's kind of interesting. Most of you guys listening to this program probably are all hip to nutritional supplementation. You know about the importance of supplements and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and you wouldn't be listening to this program if you didn't have a basic idea, but still most people don't know about nutritional supplementation. And one of the great gifts of the human body is the sicker we are, the faster we turn it around, and the more deficient we are, the faster our body absorbs nutrients. When you get people beyond Tangy Tangerine, and then most folks who haven't supplemented, it's life-changing. And that's not hyperbole. That's not an exaggeration. It is literally life-changing. And that's the kind of business you can be in if you help spread the word and you help share longevity products. And you can make money at the same time. Call 866-735-2470 for more info, or click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to take a look at our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, water, silicone, vegetable oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. They were all compounded originally in my pharmacy, my wound healing pharmacy, and now they're being made available to you. For the last couple of years, I've been making them available to the general public. Truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, so, we have a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour, before I forget, so we'll get your calls in our next segment. Bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to Afton Bryant. Afton is a registered nurse who has started herself a really cool little business that I found fascinating, and I think you will too. She specializes in IV nutrition, intravenous nutrition. She has a company called Specialty Drips, and she is somewhat of an expert on IV vitamin C. And we're going to talk about intravenous nutrition, which I am a big believer in, a big proponent of intravenous nutrition. That's the kind of healthcare I'm talking about. If we wanted to have healthcare, did you guys catch the debate yesterday? Everybody's falling all over themselves to give out free drugs, to give out half-price drugs. Medicare for all. I love when Bernie Sanders says Medicare for all. Not, just accounting for the fact that you don't want to have Medicare-type health care. Medicare for all does not help people. Medicare for all may be for catastrophic issues. That's where insurance really should be, in my opinion. That's what health insurance should be, for catastrophic health issues, not to manage diabetes. I heard somebody talking about his aunt or his grandmother, one of the political candidates. His grandmother had diabetes, and if it weren't for Medicare, she wouldn't have made it. Baloney. Medicare doesn't help you if you have diabetes. That's nonsense. With diabetes, you got to work on how you live your life. That's what this program is about. This program is about hacking into your chemistry, your biochemistry. Instead of obliviously manipulating our biochemistry, obliviously sleepwalking through our biochemistry with the foods we eat and the thoughts we think, this is a program, The Bright Side is a program about being conscious with your biochemistry, hacking into your biochemistry. And it's not complicated. It's very, very simple, really, because the biochemistry is tied into how we live our lives. The idea that the biochemistry of our body can be hacked into with certain volitional behaviors and actions and decisions, i.e. choices, is so powerful. It's the most powerful health information anybody could ever have. It's what we should be telling everybody. We can hack into our biochemistry with our choices. But we have to understand some of the basics, and it's not complicated. We're led to believe it's complicated. It's not complicated. So we've been talking about estrogen, and we've been talking about the stress response. Estrogen has a reputation for being a youth hormone and a feminine hormone. In reality, it amps everything up in the body. And at the same time, it causes things to be sluggish. It amps up chemistry and it creates sluggishness at the same time. Very bad combination. It amps up biochemistry, but it creates a slothiness, a laziness. The estrogenic body type, for example, is very round, and estrogenic psychology involves not necessarily wanting to do anything. But at the same time, it revs up biochemistry. So it causes cells to divide. So it causes cells to divide, and at the same time, it causes insulin to be secreted. These are very bad combinations, and especially when estrogens are not eliminated. There's a special kind of estrogen called a catechol-estrogen. You never hear people talking about them, but you do hear sometimes people talking about certain of these catechol estrogens. One is called 2-OHE, or 2-hydroxyestrone. Some of you alternative practitioners who are listening know what I'm talking about. And they'll measure some of these, the ratios of some of these metabolites. The point is that the metabolites need to be eliminated. Estrogen is broken down in steps. The first step makes the estrogen even more toxic or even more powerful. And then the second step is supposed to eliminate it. But if you're not going through the second step, you're not going to eliminate it, and you're going to get a buildup in these estrogens. And that's why this is why estrogen has such a bad reputation, by the way, because it's these breakdown products that accumulate. And one of the major places where these breakdown products show up, or one of the major impacts, I'll say, of these breakdown products is in blood sugar. These catechol estrogens jack up your insulin. And this is a classic manifestation of the triangle of disease. If you understand the triangle, this makes perfect sense, because estrogen is the third point on the triangle of disease. Insulin is the second point. The second point and the third point are all linked. And by the way, both of these will lead you to hypothyroidism, which affects women way more than men. And hypothyroidism will make this whole estrogen thing worse. Say, oh my God, this is a big mess. No, it's not really, because it all starts with food and the digestive system, and then the blood sugar system. And the most important points, the most important common elements of food / digestion and blood / insulin, the bottom of the triangle of disease, the most important commonality is what we're eating. Your blood sugar goes up and down basically based on what you're eating. Stress will affect it. That's true. But in large part, it's what we eat. And then digestive and food health. Food and digestive health. Again, that's our choices. This is such powerful information if you're dealing with a health challenge. Cut to the chase. Deal with the food. Probiotics, fiber. Help yourself eliminate estrogen. If you're dealing, or you don't want to be dealing with any estrogenic health issue, whether it's endometriosis, reproductive problems, fibroid cysts, lousy periods, PMS, there's a whole host of these things. Autoimmunity, fibromyalgia, that's the classic. Fibromyalgia is the classic example of what happens when a system is saturated with estrogen, with catechol estrogens. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll continue when we come back from our break and take your phone calls. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this. we are back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls here in just a moment. Hang tight. We've got Afton Bryant coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about IV nutrition, especially my favorite, IV vitamin C. IV nutrition is super, super powerful. Super important health strategy. Way more important than any prescription drugs if you're dealing with a chronic long-term degenerative disease. I've said it before, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. There's times you need medication, okay? I understand that. I'm a pharmacist. I've been studying medication since the early 1980s, and I know a lot about medication, even though I haven't been up on some of the latest brand names. I know a lot about pharmacy and pharmacology. And the fact is that you don't really need medication if you leverage lifestyle choices most of the time. There are times, yes, antibiotics, pain pills, etc. There are times, I'm aware of this, and antibiotics, obviously far less than we take them and use them. This is from Medscape today. PCP's lack of awareness of pre-diabetes survey find. Despite more than 2 decades of studies showing that type 2 diabetes can be prevented or delayed by intensive lifestyle change, just completely eliminate it. It's a lifestyle issue. Despite more than 2 decades of studies, uptake of these remains quite low in U.S. patients. What does this mean? Uptake's low. Delayed by intensive. Despite more than 2 decades of studies showing that type 2 diabetes can be prevented or delayed by intensive lifestyle changes, such as the DPP, metformin therapy, or both, uptake of these remains quite low among U.S. patients. In other words, doctors aren't telling patients about the diabetes prevention strategies because, guess what? Doctors don't know what pre-diabetes is. They think you're either on or off. You either are or aren't a diabetic. I'm telling you, I can't count the amount of times I've seen people who clearly had messed up blood sugar and they told me, oh no, I don't have diabetes, my blood sugar is fine, based on these tests. This is the whole idea of reference ranges and statistics. Human beings are not statistics. If you have the signs of blood sugar or dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar, it doesn't matter what the doctor tells you. It doesn't matter what the test score tells you. If your body is manifesting the symptoms of messed up blood sugar, you got messed up blood sugar. If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it flies like a duck, it's a duck. And it doesn't matter what the doctor tells you. Oh no, we did the test and you don't have diabetes, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, this is about primary care physicians lacking awareness of prediabetes. No surprise. But it doesn't matter because this is stuff we can all do ourselves. All right, we're going to continue talking about what you can do about estrogen, about excess estrogen and catechol estrogens in our coming Bright Side episodes. Food, surprise, surprise, is one of the best things you can do. And guess what? Your ultimate EFAs act like good estrogen. That's the first thing you want to do if you're dealing with HRT, estrogen replacement therapy, is get yourself on the ultimate EFAs. Throw in some vitamin E and vitamin A. Fatty vitamins, that's really where it's at. Fatty vitamins and fatty nutrients. That's really where it's at when it comes to taking care of your steroid hormones, which, oh, by the way, are all cholesterol. Yes, cholesterol. Estrogen is cholesterol with a couple little tweaks. All right, time to hit the phones. Jason, why don't you put Joe on? Joe in Tennessee. What's going on, Joe?
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing good. How are you doing, ma'am, in Tennessee?
I'm doing great. I'll try and make this as quickly as possible. I've just heard you say that when you say that they have messed up blood sugar, do you mean that their blood is toxic? And if so, what can be done?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I mean, the blood is toxic. And sugar has to be regarded as a toxin, even though it's not exactly a classic toxin in the sense that your body needs it, and also that there's certain amounts that are tolerable, and there's chemistry, there's biochemistry that's in place that will allow the body to use it. So it's not like strictly a toxin, but too much sugar in the blood burns things. Sugar is burning. Do you ever get a sugar burn, Joe?
No, I don't know.
Let's see. Let me think of how else I could say it. Sugar it has a very high, when it burns very hot. It's high energy. So the body has to protect itself against sugar. Because if sugar floats in around the blood and touches the blood vessels, it can burn the blood vessels. That's called glycation. It can burn the blood vessels. It can burn various small circulatory vessels. It can burn muscle and connective tissue. And when I say burn, I mean glycation. It's not really like a fire burn. It's more like a chemical burn, like a biochemical burn, a quantum burn, really. But for our intents and purposes, think burn. So the body has to have a way of protecting itself against that sugar, and it does have a way. It's called insulin. Insulin does a lot of things, but one of the things it does is it protects us against the burning effects of sugar. Is this making sense? Are you with me here, Joe?
Yes,
okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. So, and it really, at the end of the day, it's all about the cell, and sugar burns the cell. It burns the cell membrane. It destroys cells. So the body has to keep the sugar out of the blood. Now, if you only have a little bit of sugar, like the human animal grew up with very little sugar. We didn't have a lot of sugar. You think, where do you get sugar if you're on the African savannah? You might be lucky to get some honey, maybe. There's really a little berry somewhere, or maybe a little crab apple. There wasn't a lot of sugar. But all of a sudden, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, maybe starting 400 or 500 years ago, but really at an accelerated pace, the last 50 years, we got all this sugar. And sugar is not just, sucrose or sweet stuff. It's also bread, and it's also pasta. It's also rice. I mean, think of all the ways our body has to interact with sugar all of a sudden. So insulin, which is a hormone that does lots of things, one of the things it does is it helps to protect the body against sugar by sticking the sugar in fat cells. Insulin is always working, and eventually the body stops listening to insulin. Eventually, this is one of the ways the body adapts to high levels of things. It stops listening, high levels of hormones. It stops listening. That's called resistance. And so more and more insulin has to come out. And remember, insulin does a lot of things. It's not just a sugar hormone. It's a rev you up hormone. It's a nutrient absorption hormone. It's a feeding hormone. It's a growth substance. So all of a sudden we got all these biochemistries. And all human beings, the biochemistry is revved up for growth and for muscle development, but nothing's happening. We're watching TV. So instead of all that growth happening in your connective tissue and your muscles, the growth is happening in fat. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
And it revs everything up. It revs up your cholesterol system because cholesterol is also a building substance. So now your cholesterol is jacked up. And that's the main reason why cholesterol goes up. It's because the body is prepared to grow, but we're not growing. We're sitting on the couch, or we're sitting in our chairs at our jobs, we have a sedentary lifestyle. So we're telling the body, we've got mixed messages coming into the body. The sugar and the insulin and the estrogen, they're all telling the body to grow, but we're not doing anything to make us grow, so we just get fat. If we were to go out and work out, we moved our bodies around, it wouldn't be as significant, and that's one of the best ways you can lower your blood sugar and protect yourself against insulin resistance is move. Work out. After you eat a sugary meal or after you eat a sweet meal, take a walk even, let alone just jumping up and down on the trampoline. You know what I'm saying? So take advantage of all that energy you're putting into the system. All right, that's it, Joe. We're out of time, but thanks for your question. Appreciate it. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll have Afton Bryant talking about IV nutrition coming up in our next segment. Don't go away. On the bright side, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 at the archive page, brightsideben.com. You can go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com for news stories and blog posts and videos and articles and lots of free information. That's brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to take a look at our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, surfactants, water, oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. Truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. I am very excited to have our next guest on. Afton Bryant is a friend, and I met her from The Truth. She's a registered nurse, and she's got a really super cool business that I thought you guys would be interested in hearing about. we talk about IV nutrition on this program a lot. We talk about IV glutathione for cancer, IV vitamin C for cancer, IV vitamin C for lots of things. We've had Thomas Levy on the program in the past, talking about the importance of IV vitamin C. So Afton's a nurse, an intensive care nurse, actually, and she started her own IV med spa business to help bring awareness to people about preventive care. She provides concierge IV vitamin services, intravenous vitamin services, and she also has Denver's first mobile cool sculpting unit. Please welcome to the bright side, Afton Bryant. Hey, Afton.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Nice to talk to you. I forgot to say, Afton's website is Specialty Drips, and that's DRIPPS.com. Specialty Drips, DRIPPS.com. So, Afton, when I heard about your business, the first thing I said is, you got to come on my program, because it's just, to me, IV nutrition is so darn important. What got you hip to it? What got you to understand it? Coming from the medical model, by the way, as a registered nurse.
Well, yeah. What's the first thing they do when you go to the hospital? They hook you up to an IV and give you oxygen, no matter what's going on. So I thought, if anyone needs a little boost, a little buffer, let's get them the fluids and see how their body responds to that. And then if they need further treatment, they can go to their doctor, or at least give their body a chance to start fighting off what they're going through,
Are you doing mostly just kind of energy for healthy people and nutrition for healthy people, or are you working with people who have cancer and specific health challenges or diseases?
Well, right now the industry is a little fuzzy. There's no particular regulatory set-in for us in Colorado, and we have a group that's working on trying to get that in place. But right now we're really we're not approved to treat, cure, or otherwise diagnose. We're simply here to give people an opportunity to let their bodies kind of pick up the slack, and we're just here to kind of give them a helping hand. But hopefully in the future we're leaning more towards really helping more medically and bridging that gap between Eastern and Western medicine.
So you actually have to be really careful about making any kind of claim. Probably you have to be very your languaging has to be you have to language very carefully, correct?
Right. Well, it's just like your truth treatment products. It's new, it's different, it's helpful, and people are scared about that. They don't.
Why are they scared of helpful? What is so scary about helpful? That's the way I look at it. What's the scariness of it? What's your favorite of your IV nutrients? Do you have one?
I would say vitamin C. I know when I got introduced to your products and just the levels and the clarity of products that you have and the level of vitamin C. If you look on any face wash, lotion, anything is going to have vitamin C in it. But when I heard the pure content that you're using and the level that's in it, that just blew my mind, because I know how important vitamin C is to both. And if you're getting it on topical and it's going into your cells topically, and then if you get it intravenously, your body can be on a whole nother level. You
gotta love vitamin C. It's so darn incredible. It's hard to explain unless you really have a feel for nutrition or the body or health. It's really hard to explain how unbelievably important vitamin C is. For so many different things.
There's so many studies out there about everything that vitamin C helps with. Literally everything.
Literally everything. Yeah, it's like a panacea.
The base of your body's functioning.
Yeah. Did you get to read Thomas Levy at all, or get to look into him? He calls it the primal panacea. It's good for. He says it's good for everything. Did you get to read him or look at him?
Oh, yeah. I was up all night watching his YouTube videos. I mean, all of his videos are at least an hour long, and I think I went through every last one of them. But
isn't it great? Isn't it great? Yeah. He's amazing. There was a dentist in, I forgot his name, in Colorado Springs, who used to give like 50,000 milligrams IV of vitamin C. Mm-hmm. He would just stick, and then Thomas Levy, he was on my program a few years ago, and he talked about how he watched this guy go sit in the chair like a tired old man and get up and just like basically was doing a jig as he got up out of the chair. It's pretty amazing.
And this isn't new news. It's a shame that we haven't been able to get this message out much, and you only can understand and know this information if you go looking for it. My grandmother had polio when she was 10, 11, 12, and this was 70 years ago, and her dad made her eat the orange peels of oranges.
Is that right?
For the high vitamin C. This was 70 years ago. These people didn't have any of these studies and tests and everything that they do now, but somehow they knew that would help.
They intuitively knew about it. So I would have to say vitamin C is my personal favorite of all the IV nutrients. But then there's my second favorite is glutathione. Do you do anything with that?
Well, yes, we also give glutathione in our IV bags, and it really just goes hand in hand with vitamin C because it really your body naturally produces glutathione, and when you have vitamin C, it actually increases that production. And when when you have an adequate level of glutathione, you can fight off all of the free radicals and all of the toxins that your bodies just naturally acquire.
So you use IV glutathione routinely with your vitamin C?
Yes, so all of our IVs are pretty much kind of a la carte. So we start out with our B complex, which is great for pretty much everyone. And then once we get to know kind of your symptoms, what you're looking for, then that's when we kind of add on different vitamins that we have. But I really like to give the vitamin C and the glutathione together, yeah. So
your B complex is your base? That's the basic thing everybody gets?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So and then you concierge, you'll design a program like some vitamin C, some glutathione, selenium. Do you do that one too?
Not selenium at this time. We try to, once again, not treat, we kind of have to be careful. I feel like the vitamins that we do use are very broad spectrum, so it really it's very inclusive to majority of the people. And I feel like when we get a little more selective with our vitamins, then it could be affecting different people differently. So
got it. So you got the more general ones like glutathione and vitamin C, and the B complex. And
how about B12? We have biotin. That's the B7, D3, magnesium, zinc, all the heavy hitters.
And how about electrolytes? Potassium, sodium.
Since we don't do any lab values and we don't do any, once again, treating, the electrolytes can be, some of them can be a little tricky, like potassium and stuff, because that affects the conductivity of your heart. And so if someone is higher and we give them some
and they have
potassium,
go into a tachycardia or something. Yeah, no, I got that. Okay, that's cool. So I want to talk to you about some specific. I know you don't talk about health challenges, but I want to talk generally about health challenges, not so much for your business and what you know about them. Hang tight. We're talking to Afton Bryant. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll take a commercial break and come back right after this. Don't go away. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Afton Bryant about Specialty Drips, her IV nutrition company. You do a lot more than IV nutrition, though, right?
Yes, we also do. I used to be a nurse injector at different spas across the country, and I just really love using my creative techniques and my creative outlet to do like Botox fillers. We also incorporate microneedling, microdermabrasion, stuff like that, and then also healing the body from the inside out and doing cool sculpting. I mean, cool sculpting is great for fat reduction in those stubborn areas.
Tell us about cool sculpting real quick.
So it's a machine that reduces 20 to 25% of the fat cells that are in a treated area. It is best seen with best results in kind of the stubborn areas, the abdomen, your flank, your bra fat, your back fat, underneath the chin. I've actually done personal sessions to me personally because I wouldn't do anything to myself or doing it to clients without doing it to myself, and I have loved my results. It's been really life-changing, and my clothes fit better, and I just kind of overall feel better about myself, and in turn I kind of get out there and help other people. I think that's kind of the main mission of my company is make people feel good and look good, and then they go out and do good. They do good things for other people, and you when you feel good about yourself, you want to pass that along. So that's kind of why
awesome, Afton. So
my main mission.
You do aesthetics also. Do you do peels? You said microneedling and microdermabrasion, right?
Yeah, we actually use your truth treatment system to do the chemical peels, and I actually really love your products because so often people want just their skin just peeling off in sheets and sheets, and it's like that cannot be healthy for your skin. So I love the way that you use healing as the primary mechanism. You're healing it as it's kind of breaking down those skin cells
That's
and
awesome.
giving you kind of a fresh face. And it's just completely aligns with everything that we believe in.
You nailed it, Afton. That's awesome. That's exactly right. There's a healing process that you want to leverage in addition to stimulation. People just stimulate, but they don't leverage the healing part.
Right. Well, and so often, a lot of people don't even go home with like the correct products to put on their face after they've taken that whole layer of skin.
Right.
Like your skin is your first and foremost protective layer to fighting disease in your body. And if you take that layer off, you're so susceptible to anything in the environment, i.e. the free radicals that get into your system, and then that's how you get all those toxins. And then now you need the glutathione and vitamin C to fight all that off because your body's you left your body wide open to have the intruders come in.
Topically, you could do a lot with vitamin C, for example. I've been a fan of topical vitamin C for, since pharmacy school, basically like almost 40 years ago. I figured the topical vitamin C, if it's so important for your inside and so important for your skin, it should be I think it's the most important ingredient you could put on your skin on a regular basis is vitamin C. But it has to be the right form.
More. And I really love that you've made your products have the lipophil, the fatty part of it, because then it actually goes into your skin instead of just sits on top of it. That doesn't do much good, just sitting there.
And it's stable. Unstable vitamin C can accelerate the aging process. The vitamin C that turns brown, sometimes people will spend a lot of money on vitamin C in skincare products, and it turns brown right in the bottom. Have you ever seen this? They're some of the most famous ones.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. It's crazy to me. All right, so we got IV glutathione. You got IV vitamin C. You don't do electrolytes. Did you say magnesium? Do you do magnesium?
Yeah, we do lower dose magnesium. Once again, magnesium is a conducting agent in the heart as well. So our dosing is minimum. It's enough to make a difference, but it's nothing that you would really get to affect the levels in your blood and your heart. Magnesium, potassium, and calcium are all conductivity agents for your heart, and we don't want to harm anyone in any way because I'd feel terrible if we were to
I don't
mess with anyone's heart.
No, you want to be careful. Have you heard of the Myers cocktail?
Yes, and actually, I've done a lot of research on that when I first was starting, and there's about 10 to 12 different medications that is in that Myers cocktail, the true Myers cocktail that was created by John Myers for the flight attendants and pilots and stuff. And nowadays, people throw that word around like they know what they're talking about. But really, I mean, they probably maybe know one or two of the medications or the vitamins that's in it, and they just assume that if you go to another IV place, I want the Myers cocktail. Okay,
they
great.
assume it's the same thing.
But you might be getting one or two of the meds that's actually in the original cocktail dose.
Got it. So there's because it's a pharmacy term, Myers cocktail. Like if you go into Remington's Book of Pharmaceuticals, you'll see Myers cocktail there. And I think the original one was just 3 or 4 vitamins: vitamin C, thiamine, and zinc. I think maybe was magnesium in there. I don't think magnesium is in there. I think it's vitamin C, thiamine, magnesium,
calcium, gluconate, magnesium. If you go to the original, I guess, journal entry about it, and I can see if I can find that, and we can post that up later. But there's at least 10 to 12 different medications and vitamins in there that he originally intended to be in there. And over the time, it has kind of, if you will, dumbed down, or it's kind of filtered down.
Yeah, there's not like one standard Myers cocktail. In other words, just because you're getting a Myers cocktail doesn't mean you're getting the same consistent formulation.
Correct.
So are there IV nutrition associations, or tell me about the IV nutrition business as a whole?
Well, the medical board doesn't want anything to do with us because we're not treating or curing or diagnosing, and the beauty industry really doesn't want anything to do with us because we don't have it's not been really regulated or proven. I've found that a lot of places around that I've noticed are more based on, say, the partiers. Oh, let's go get, drunk and hungover, and then you come and see them later. I don't really believe in
Can you cure a hangover with IV? Can you cure a hangover with?
It definitely can cure 1,000%. But
instantly.
Well, I tell people anything that you're going to do to exhaust your body, either deplete it of energy, nutrients, or fluids, i.e. drinking does all of that, then you really need to give yourself an IV drip beforehand, because if you give yourself a booster, you might only wake up feeling, maybe 60%, as opposed to if you don't have that booster, you wake up feeling 30%, and maybe the IV drip can only get you up to about 40 or 50% because it's so depleted. You have to go in and get your body stimulating to make, to catch up, essentially. So I always say it's best to do everything beforehand. But
you want to load up on it.
Yeah, I really strive with my company to be more educational and being in more the athletic department and the beauty industry, because I feel like things that you're doing to your body to promote health and wellness is definitely along the lines of kind of our goals and missions.
Do you do education? Do you do classes or anything like that?
Well, funny you mentioned that. That's in the works.
Okay.
We are putting education programs together, putting ebooks together.
You're going to involve Truth Skin Health. You're going to involve Truth treatments in your education.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a two for one. It's nice to find product lines and just people that you align with so wholeheartedly that you don't feel crazy saying the things that you can help and you can do.
I totally get that.
So many people just, oh yeah, whatever, because it's so against the norm.
Sometimes I feel like people think it's crazy, like some of the stuff I talk about, and even some of the stuff you're talking about here. Sometimes I feel like it sounds so wacky and alternative. You know what? It's funny because tell me if you feel the same way. I hang around with people who tend to know about these kinds of things, so I sort of forget sometimes that most people have no idea. You sound like you're talking gibberish, or you're talking, some other weird language, or you're some alternative, tinfoil hat whack job or something talking about selenium and glutathione. And it's nice to be, with your peers and your colleagues, people understand this, but it's important to recognize that most people have no idea about any of this stuff.
Well, and that's the thing is, everything's such a trend. And you ask anyone, you go out there, you take a poll, and you say, okay, you feel like you're getting sick. What's the first thing you do? Oh, everyone turns to Emergency or the vitamin C packets. So they know that, so-and-so told me this. Everyone turns to that. Well, that's what they think that's doing is making them is curing their sickness. But what it really is doing is stopping the bacteria or the virus that their body's trying to fight off. It's stopping that growth, and it's letting their body and their immune system really kick in and go on overdrive. It's
letting
not
the body
necessarily
do it.
like it's just like everyone does it. It's not crazy, but when you mention, let's do it intravenously, and you get more absorption and you get better effects from it, or better yet, let's put it on your skin and stop those bacteria and those viruses from being able to penetrate your skin and your, mucosal membranes. That's the crazy part of it. Is like people want a reaction and fix it, but they won't prevent it.
Afton, if people want to get a hold of you, just go to specialtydrips.com. Is that the website? Specialtydrips.com?
Yep.
Specialtydrips.com.
Afton, we're just 2 P's.
2 P's. That's right. DRIPPS. Thanks, Afton. We're out of time. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. Have a beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.